right. Well, you guys, welcome back. If you are new here, we are the Habit team. The Habit is a nutrition coaching company made for women by women. Our program is built for you with coaches who put your goals, lifestyle, and personality first. If you want to learn more about us, head to the episode notes or go to thehabit.com. That's habit with a Y to either request more information or book your free discovery call. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I truly believe changes everything once you fully understand it. So I'm going to set the scene by posing some questions to see if these thoughts have ever crossed your mind. So if you've ever found yourself saying, why can I eat healthy all day and then lose control at night? Why do I keep craving sugar even though I know better? Why does stress instantly make me want food? Or even, why do I sabotage myself the second life gets overwhelming? If you've thought of any of those, then this episode is for you. Because what if I told you your food choices often have less to do with discipline than they do with your nervous system? I know we've been taught to believe that weight loss is all about calories and macros and motivation and willpower. And don't get me wrong, those things absolutely matter. But what I see coaching women every single day is that their nervous system is quietly influencing almost every decision they make around food. So today I'm going to unpack what that actually means, why it happens, and most importantly, what we can do about it moving forward. So let's start simple. What is the nervous system? Your nervous system is basically your body's communication network. Its number one job is survival. So not weight loss, not fat loss, not achieving six-pack abs, just survival. Your brain is constantly asking one question: am I safe? Every second of every day. And depending on the answer, your body is going to respond differently. Most people think they're making conscious food decisions. But in reality, many of those decisions are automatic survival responses. So let's talk about the 3 different states of the nervous system. This is a framework I love teaching clients because understanding the 3 primary nervous system states is incredible awareness to start with. So state number 1, regulated, aka you feel safe. And obviously, this is where we want to spend most of our time, right? When you're regulated, this is often when you find hunger cues make sense, fullness signals work. You think logically, not emotionally. You can pause before reacting, and you make intentional food choices. So I want you to notice, healthy eating feels easier here, not because you're more motivated, because your brain has enough capacity to make thoughtful decisions because it feels safe. Now let's talk about state number 2, the fight or flight, your stress mode, your stress response. So think about deadlines, kids kicking and screaming, relationship conflict, poor sleep, overtraining, overexercising, even undereating, running late. All of those things, your brain doesn't distinguish between emotional stress and physical danger. It simply says we're in survival. So when this happens, your cortisol, your stress hormone, increases. And from there, your brain wants quick energy. And unfortunately, what do you think provides that quick energy? Sugars, right? Fats, highly processed foods. And again, not because you're weak or lacking willpower. It is quite literally your body trying to survive. So, final state, and this one often surprises people, but it is the state of freezing. So, freeze doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes freeze looks like scrolling for 3 hours, aka kind of avoiding whatever task you need to do. Ordering takeout because deciding something to cook feels impossible. Ignoring your meal prep. Deciding not to track because you don't want to face reality. We've all been there before. Not grocery shopping, standing in front of the pantry, eating random snacks, grazing, never feeling satisfied. It's shut down. So when women tell me I just couldn't make myself do it, I don't immediately think, oh, she doesn't care or she's lazy. My first question is, what state was her nervous system in? So those are the 3 states of your nervous system. Now, let's talk about why emotional eating isn't actually about food. And this is something I tell my clients all the time. Food isn't always solving a hunger issue. Sometimes it's solving a nervous system dysregulation. So I want you to think about it. Food can temporarily provide comfort, distraction, pleasure, predictability, control, relief, connection. So I want you to notice none of those are about calories. They're about regulation. So when life feels chaotic, food becomes the fastest way to feel okay, even if it's only for 10 minutes. And the problem isn't that food works. The problem is that it only works temporarily. Then comes the guilt, the restriction, starting over on Monday, and then that vicious cycle repeats. So at the end of the day, your brain loves predictability. So this is another fascinating piece, in my opinion at least, but your nervous system values familiarity over improvement. So I want you to hear that again. It values familiarity over improvement. So what this means is even if your current habits aren't serving you, they're familiar though, nonetheless. And familiar feels safe to your body and your brain. And this is why women often self-sabotage right as they're making progress. Not because they don't want to see success or progress, but because success feels unfamiliar. Their brain literally goes, hold up. This isn't normal. So let's return to what we know. And that explains why someone can lose 15 pounds, receive all the compliments and validation, suddenly stop tracking, they start emotional eating, they skip their workouts, and that trickle effect happens. It's not a lack of desire. It's quite literally the nervous system protecting its familiarity. So why this happens is dieting actually dysregulates your nervous system. So this is something we don't discuss enough. And this is exactly why I wanted to bring this topic up. Chronic dieting itself is stressful. That comes with the territory, you guys. No matter what, when you are in a calorie deficit, it is stress on your body. So I want you to think about years of restricting, feeling guilty, starting over, obsessing, fearing foods, having cheat days, cutting carbs, white knuckling through your cravings. What's happening is your body's eventually learning food isn't safe. Scarcity is coming, and every Monday you're restricting, every Friday you're binging. So your nervous system starts anticipating that deprivation. Then, the second you finally eat something enjoyable, your brain says, eat as much as you can before it's taken away. It quite literally goes into overdrive because it doesn't know the next time you're going to give it permission to have said food. So that's not broken willpower. That's literally a learned survival mechanism. So that's when you often find yourself binging and feeling like you quite literally cannot stop yourself in that moment. And so your body is keeping score. This is one of my favorite concepts because it kind of just puts it into perspective here. Your body remembers experiences your mind has moved on from. So if you've spent years using food to comfort yourself, your nervous system wires that pathway. And what the pathway may look like is you get stressed, you turn to food, you get relief, and then you repeat it enough, it becomes automatic. Not because you're choosing it, but because your brain has built that shortcut. The good news is neural pathways are incredibly adaptable and you can build new ones. You can quite literally rewire your brain. And that's exactly what we're doing inside, the coaching I do with my clients. But the pause is where change happens. So one of the most powerful skills you can build isn't more discipline or finding more motivation. It's creating space. So instead of stress, which leads you to eat whatever you want, and then relief, but then remorse, right? That vicious cycle. What we want to see is you get stressed, but then you pause, and then you notice. So you're noticing and reflecting upon maybe the precipitating event. What emotion is surging through you right now? Just notice what's going on. And then you choose. So that pause might only be 30 seconds. It might not even be 10 seconds, but that's where freedom lives. So ask yourself, what am I actually needing right now? Am I hungry? Am I overwhelmed? Maybe lonely, anxious, bored, exhausted? So, first and foremost, as you can see, I'm naming off negative emotions because when your brain and body get riddled with negative emotions, what's happening is your body is looking for that comfort and your neural pathway has led it to essentially food, right? But by pausing and asking yourself, okay, what am I feeling right now? And what am I actually needing? That is basically allowing you to pause and ask yourself, okay, maybe the answer isn't food this time around. Maybe it's that I need sleep or to go outside and get some sunshine and walk. Sometimes it's asking for help. Awareness creates options. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to regulate before reaching for food because I want to get practical here and give you tangible resources and tools that you can use if these urges surface for you. So 5 things that I often teach my clients is 1, the physiological sigh. So you're going to take 1 deep inhale, then another small inhale, then a long, slow exhale. Repeat that 2 or 3 times because research has shown this quickly helps reduce stress in that very moment. Number 2, you can ground yourself. So I want you to look around the room and you're going to name 5 things you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. This brings your brain back into the present moment. And how you can see, we're touching on all the different senses that we experience as humans. Tool number 3, eat consistently. Ironically, skipping meals often increases emotional eating later. A regulated blood sugar supports a regulated nervous system, simply put. Number 4, we're going to lower the stress bucket. So stress isn't just emotional. It creeps in due to poor sleep, too much caffeine, under eating, over exercising, not recovering properly, too many commitments. I mean, you name it. So sometimes improving nutrition starts with reducing stress. And then lastly, ask better questions. So instead of, why am I like this? I want you to try asking, what is my nervous system trying to protect me from? That question creates compassion and gives yourself grace rather than instantly shaming yourself. So the biggest mindset shift and what I can leave with you today, your cravings are not character flaws. They are simply data. It's information for you. Your emotional eating isn't proof that you're incapable. It's just data. Your body's communicating, not betraying you. When you stop fighting your nervous system and start working with it, that is when the magic happens. Because lasting transformation doesn't happen through punishment. It happens through regulation, through safety, through awareness, through practicing new responses over and over until they become your new normal. So if today's episode resonated with you, I want you to ask yourself 1 question this week. Before every emotional eating moment, ask, what state is my nervous system in right now? Not what's wrong with me, but what does my body need? That single question can completely change your relationship with food. So if you're ready to stop relying on willpower and start understanding the psychology behind your eating habits, then that is exactly what we work on inside the habit and what I do with all of my clients. We don't just teach women what to eat, we help them understand why they eat the way they do, so healthy choices become less of a battle and more of a natural response. So I hope you found this helpful. And one last little tidbit. I know I gave you 5 tools that can help regulate your nervous system, but you can easily look up and research other ones. There are scripts out there that you can follow, and they range anywhere between 2 minutes to 10 minutes, whatever you can fit into your day. I highly, highly recommend implementing them at the end of each day so that you quiet your brain and your body, allowing you to get a restful night of sleep. So I am going to leave you with that. And until next time.